Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void! Today it's going to be a MidRank madness sent to Snipermonkey at the email address in the description. Snipermonkey watches every single replay that he receives at that email address and lets me know which ones are the best. So this is going to be Solo versus GunsNRoaches on Oxide. Bottom left-hand corner, it is a red Zerg player, GunsNRoaches, with the Brood War Hatchery skin. And in the top right-hand side, it is a blue Terran player, Solo. This is a 4K cast, as per usual. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you're happy for some high-quality 4K casting. I like MidRank Madness. I've been doing it for, I want to say, 6 years. I think I instituted it fairly soon after I started the channel. I just enjoy casting these level of games because lobies get cast a lot and higher level players get cast a lot, but, you know, diamond and platinum players, who's gonna cast them? I know Pig does, and I know people do subscriber replays out on Twitch, but I don't know. I just feel like I just do this without anything in return, so maybe that's different? Anyway, looks like a 1-Rax expand here from Solo, a 16, 18, 17 here from GunsNRoaches. MidRank Madness is Gold, Platinum, and Diamond. And Brave Noob World, which I cast every other week at the same day and same time as this one, is Silver and Bronze. So again, send your replays to a Snipermonkey if those leagues are your leagues. Or your league? I don't know. Anyway, Command Center coming down here for Solo. A Reaper on the way. And honestly, I think so far so good. Generally, MidRank Madness, we don't have any hiccups in the early stages of the game. Players know what they're on about. Factory coming in here from Solo. The Reaper moving out immediately. The Reaper's name is Spinecrawler Micro. Scout Steve was viewing a fight between two Zerg strains when he noticed something unthinkable, impossible, and completely absurd. Spinecrawlers being microed around to avoid damage. Scout Steve was sent to the Reaper program for falsifying his scout reports. His bosses did not believe him, unfortunately. Reaper comes right into the main. I kind of like this play. There are Lings to chase them away, though. Again, Lings on creep faster than Reapers. Reapers off creep faster than slow Lings. You get a speed bonus for the Lings if you're on creep. Gets one. That's pretty good. That's not bad. Is he really just going to stick around in here? I think he's just going to stick around in here. This is interesting. So there's queens out now, though, so you can't get into these mineral lines without getting a face full of queen spines, which is something you want to avoid for sure. Probably can't kill that tumor. That would have been nice to maybe pick it off with a KD8 charge and a few shots. Might have been possible, but I'm not entirely sure. Third base coming up from GunsNRoaches, sub 3 minutes. That got that start, so I'm not going to complain about that at all. That's really good. And yeah, so far, Hellion production here from Solo. He threw down his barracks on the low ground to help wall it off. Tossing his engineering bay here too. I do kind of worry about walling off with these structures, just because them dying is a problem. And a proxy starport left side from our boy Solo here. That's gotta be Banshee, right? A proxy Banshee that can't really be scouted by this Overlord because, well, the Overlord's not trying to scout, but if I was him, I'd maybe try to see what's going on in here, right? Now, this is warning bells. You see one barracks, one factory, and no starport. You don't see a second barracks or a second factory or anything. That is going to be a proxy starport somewhere. So if you're smart, at about, you know, 4.5 minutes, you want to start some spores here, and we'll see what Solo does with the starport. He's not doing anything with it right now, which is a problem. Proxies usually work on the element of surprise, and the element, oh, this showed up faster than I thought it would. And if you kind of wait on that and delay that process, then suddenly Overlord dies here. Oh, there we go. Yeah, suddenly you're late. So it is a Liberator. All right. I figured he would toss a tech lab on there fast if he was going for something, but fusion core. Is he going to follow this up with a Battlecruiser? That would be interesting. But I'm serious. 4.5 minutes, like 5 minutes at the latest, you want to start some spores here, GunsNRoaches. Especially if you're this gosh darn blind against your Terran opponent. You don't know what they're doing. Yeah, again, if this is all you've seen, gotta assume starport is on the menu at some point. So there we go. Spores getting started. Beautiful. I mean, worth their weight in gold against Liberators, especially because Liberators can't hit them. Liberators only fire on units, which is kind of a weird quirk about Liberators, right? They cannot fire on buildings at all. But they can get ground stuff. And the ground stuff that are units is totally fine. Hellions just kind of poking in here a little bit. Once they get off creep, they're a little bit braver, and they're going to roast up a couple of these Zerglings. But so far, ooh, these are YOLO. YOLO Hellions! Yep, they're not leaving. They know it. You know it. I know it. These Hellions are not leaving town today. Oh, the drones stacked up a little bit there. A bunch of them are going down, but like I said about the Hellions, they're all dead. And that is that. Okay. Well, I don't know if that was the greatest thing. Oh, did the Spore Crawler kill the Liberator too? The Liberator died, and 6 Hellions died, and 8 drones went down. But you know what? 8 drones in exchange for a Liberator and that many Hellions. I think the Zerg player feels pretty good about this. I really do believe so. This has got to be Battlecruiser. Yeah, he's getting Yamato. Starport here. Not enough gas. Wait. It's 400 minerals and 350 gas? Yeah, I think that was right. So Battlecruiser is on the way now. Another starport here. So 2-port proxy Battlecruiser, which is scouting double command center production and is going to scout the fusion core. Okay, so this is a really fantastic play out of GunsNRoaches at the moment. Resources lost about even. You can see there in the bottom right. I am using the WCS 3.0 observer interface rather than the one that I've been using for the past couple weeks and I guess a few months at this point. So I don't know if there's a huge difference. I know there's one subscriber who really prefers this replay interface, so I thought I'd toss one up, see if anybody complained about it. I might just stick with this, honestly. It is nice to see resources lost here. It's nice to see APM kind of spiking during different engagements and spending on tech and stuff. And you do lose a couple things from the other interface, but I don't feel like it's anything super game-changing, you know? Wow, we're going high fuel capacity tanks there for medevacs, of which that's got to be an accident. We're not making medevacs in this game. There's no reason to make medevacs at all. We have 2 Marines. 2 Marines are here. All right, well, Battlecruiser coming in, and Hydralisk Den is done. We have 0 Hydralisks. So this is going to have to be a queen defense of this Battlecruiser. So kills an Overlord. The Queen's getting 0 shots off so far. What? You guys? What are you? He's grouping all of his queens up. But these guys can kind of chase the Battlecruiser away too, you know. Transfuse goes down, and can you kill the Battlecruiser faster than the Hydralisk Den dies? The answer is enough that the Battlecruiser's not comfortable with it, and does jump, over to the 3rd base to get some stuff done. Where there are no queens, and there's only a Spore. He can Yamato down that Spore. He's got a Yamato available. Liberator wanders in, sets up a big circle. The queens are like, the queens are so worried about the Battlecruiser. The Liberator's getting way too much done here. Holy smokes. We're doing some good stuff here, Solo. I'm liking it. 5 kills on the Battlecruiser. And keeps it alive. Recognizes to get to a spot where queens can't chase him. This Liberator is murdering this entire mineral line. No! GunsNRoaches, I know. I know. Okay, so finally bringing a Spore over. After the Liberator gets about literally 19 kills for that Liberator. The Battlecruiser heads home after getting 6. I don't know how the Zerg player wins this. That's 29 drones killed in the first 9 minutes of this game. He still is actually up 67 to 42 workers. Oh man, this Liberator stuff, they keep setting up in range of Spores. And look, it's another example of just everybody move commanding past this dude. A move to where you're going. Hellions coming into a very oversaturated 4th base, trying to get some more drone kills because drones are delicious and smell like chicken when you've roasted them up. I believe that's what the Terran pilots say. It's 32 drones killed in the first 9.5 minutes, and GunsNRoaches is at 65 workers. He's fine. He's absolutely fine. He's playing this like Raynor, man. The only other player I'm familiar with that can take these kind of losses and be fine economically is Raynor, and I guess Cyril to a certain extent, but shabah. This is ridiculous. Where are you going, Liberator? Somewhere. Somewhere. So Ling Hydra here, entirely the composition. No Banelings, which concerns me. Although, I don't know what the Banelings are going to kill other than Hellions, I suppose. Unburrow the Spore and put it back there. There you go. Spores have had a great time today. There's 17 drones on this one extractor because it's safe there. And yeah, the Liberators, other than the one that got 19 kills, Liberators have not paid for themselves today at all. Hellions coming down the left side. And finding nothing to kill. Decide to back on out. Man, they're just really good running here. I was going to say, you know there's a million Hydralisks in that location. Corruptor production has begun. I like this. Like a Hydra Corruptor play. Seems like it'd be really good against what we're seeing here. Especially because the Hydras cannot range the Widow Mines. If they have detection, which they would need some of that, they have 0 detection right now. There are no Overseers whatsoever. So it's Widow Mine, Battlecruiser, Hellion. I guess there's a tank here from Solo now. So he's got more of a ground army than just a few Hellions, which is going to be nice, and just Liberators. Again, I'm not sure the Liberators are paying for themselves thus far. They've been pretty consistent. They've set up in pretty decent positions. But the reaction time for GunsNRoaches, other than that one single time when all of the drones in the main base died, he's been doing pretty good, I think. Pretty good. Building armor on the way from Solo. Solo is going entirely non-traditional at this point. He's doing stuff that you will not see, like, Cure or Clem do. There's a second planetary here. What an interesting play. We do have some slow banelings we're going to wander in and try to kill some SCVs with. Solo's at 55 workers. Less than that now. 50 total workers. Blue Flame Hellions getting into this mineral line, just YOLOing their way in there. Planetary on fire, but it should be able to get saved. YOLO Hellions, man, doing work. By that I mean, these guys have 0 kills somehow. But we're at 37 drones dead now, so a few casualties, at least, for Solo during that attack. How many? He has honestly lost 23 Hellions and 6 Liberators today in exchange for those 37 drones. I don't know if it's worth all I'm saying right now. Finally, GunsNRoaches is going for a 4th base here at 12 minutes, which is late. I mean, in this kind of a game, you want a 4th base probably around 9 or 10 minutes. 12 and a half getting started just feels a little bit late. So he's still Liberatoring, man. Setting up in range of spores. He's just shift clicking them. I can't really blame him for that, but all right, this one's getting some work done. Queens, respond. Queens? But Queen, nope. Queens, oh. Yeah, the Liberator pilot's like, excuse me, Commander, you didn't set me up in direct range of a spore earlier, so I took it upon myself to go set up over there. I hope you're okay with that. That was a weird choice. I guess going for additional kills, got greedy, and got burned by it. So GunsNRoaches is at 200 supply. Solo is at 138 supply. This really should just be an easy win for the Zerg player. However, Battlecruisers don't trade, or the Hydras don't trade incredibly well versus Battlecruisers, especially if they have 1-1, and there's no attack upgrades on the Hydras whatsoever. He's working on it, though. He's working on missile attack. He's working on +2 melee, or carapace, rather. No melee upgrades today. Bring an Overseer with you. All right, well, it's time to go, I guess. That's it. That's it. Just go. Go. Go, there's a window. God, there's always a window. There's a window where you can win the video game. Ooh, Liberators came back to try to help deal with that. That didn't work out at all. You can just kill this. You have enough Ling Hydra just to destroy it. Oh, Hellbats, though. That changes it. Where are your Banelings? Make some Banelings. Get centrifugal hooks. This is kind of the trick of these matches, right? Is that the longer the game goes on, the more people kind of start to lose their ability to do cool stuff. And smart stuff, you know? So there's no Widow Mines, just go. I mean, you don't want to get right on top of those Hellbats with your Hydras, but okay. I love how he's just building over here. And he knows there's proxy starports, and Solo knows that GunsNRoaches knows they're here, and he's just building stuff here anyway. Building Liberators regardless. Okay, making Banelings, got your Overseer, let's move. Solo's been catching up in supply, man. Kill this base and you can win the game. You can win the video game. Trying to expand down this way. Blue Flame Hellions roast that sucker up. And then he just pulls back. Wait, what? Get speed for the Overseers too. So you will notice that the Elite Zerg players definitely get speed every time they get Overseers, which is every game. They do not skip Overseers no matter what matchup they're in. Drones in production from GunsNRoaches as he takes down these proxy starports that have been here since the beginning of time. So he's up to 81 workers. That's probably where he needs to be. I'd say 80 is fine into the mid to the late game. He's got 33 drones with which to saturate this new base. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth base he's got rolling up here. Sure, that's cool, I guess. Yeah, there was a window where you could kill this. That window might be gone. There's multiple siege tanks now. It's a wall of supply depots. There's another planetary coming up. I know you're worried about the Widow Mines, but sometimes you just gotta go. You could have caused so many problems. And now Solo's basically maxed out. The window is closed. And GunsNRoaches is going to have a much harder time winning this game. Zerglings. Okay, so those Hellions are going to die the way they lived, killing Zerglings. And he survives. Wow, makes it all the way home. Right side base coming up from Solo. He's expanding well, considering he was slow. Solo taking his fourth, his fifth base comparatively is at a pretty decent time here. A lot of Lingbane Hydra right now, and that will take down Thors cost for cost pretty easily. So I like it. I like the Lingbane Hydra. You want to avoid walking into a ton of Widow Mines if you can. I don't know that we really have that happening anymore. There's 4 Widow Mines on the field right now from Solo, so he kind of gave up on that whole thing. But except for there are 2 right there. So the Hydra going to kill 1 with the +1 attack. Overseer taking some shots. We're going, I guess. The Banelings go in first. Take down those Hellbats. Attacking into a choke is not what you want here. Very smartly played. The Battlecruiser goes down, and the Corruptors and the Hydras decide to back on out. And by that I mean the Corruptors decide to stick around and get killed by Thors instead of actually running for it. Okay, an interesting life choice, to be sure. Not one that I would have made. Lurker Den coming in here from GunsNRoaches. 21 Hydras in production because he has a 4,000 mineral bank and 1,500 gas. But we are going into mech, which can be hard for lower level Zerg players to handle. The Blue Flame Hellions, roosh. Adrenal glands in production from the Zerg player. Surprised we don't have those before now. The drone kill count is at 97. Oh my goodness. Like, I knew there's been some consistent Liberator Hellion stuff happening. But Solo might just win this game because he killed 109 drones. And GunsNRoaches is down to 58 workers now, where he was at 80 plus. He was at 81, wasn't he? I believe that's the number that we had. So Solo, again, moving into an extremely hard to deal with composition of effectively maxed out Thors with maybe some Hellbats to help. But yeah, this is getting scary. They have +3 attack. It's getting to the point where to handle this, what you need are a bunch of Lurkers. And you use Vipers to abduct the Thors one at a time into the Lurkers and kill them. It's a time-consuming process. It's micro-intensive, and it's maybe a little bit too much for a MidRank Madness player to handle. But I've seen it. I've seen it done at this level before. It's not consistent. Here comes Solo. He is, again, rocking this big old Thor army. With the +3, he's feeling pretty invincible with it, too. Lurkers getting some spines in. Trying to scan and kill him. One Lurker goes down. Another Lurker goes down. But the Lurker spines are getting some serious hits. And now, get it so that the Hydras can actually attack. There we go. Some of the Thors are doing a bit of a ring around the rosy here. And yeah, if there's just this many Hydras, they will trade fine against that number of Thors. especially if the Thors aren't particularly being microed all that well. So Thor army gets wiped out without the use of any abduct whatsoever. There were lurkers though, and they were nice, but largely it was just these Hydras with their +2 attack and +2 armor. Just overall great upgrades. Gonna do good. Killing this base is, again, there's a window here where you can totally kill all these, but there's gonna be 3 planetaries sooner rather than later, and you don't know this base exists. That is a problem. Having vision on these vulnerable bases is really, really good. He still doesn't know this is here. Look at this. Look at this vision. Nope. He's like, I'll just set up down here. There's nothing possibly for me to kill up this ramp at all. Gonna hide. Make more lurkers. The problem with this engagement here is it's very choky. And I don't... Zerg players attacking into chokes? Especially if you have all these hiders in the back not doing anything, you're gonna have a bad time. Although, tank snipe down. Alright, another tank down here. Suddenly he knows there's a planetary. Suddenly he knows that's happening. We got more Blue Flame Hellions because why not? At this stage of the game, we've had a great time with Blue Flame Hellions for the first 20 minutes. Why not make it for the next 20 minutes? I'm not sure how long this game actually is. So +2 lurkers though. Good luck repairing through that, especially because the spines are splash damage hitting your SCVs. So SCV massacre count is 31, down to 52 workers for the Terran. This is turning into a bit of a... It's not a base trade because Hellions they're not capable of base trading, I don't think. It's not really ever what they're about. This really should be a GunsNRoaches win, though. A rare win, I think, where a Zerg player loses 135 drones and wins the game anyway, somehow magically. Lurkers burrow into a 3-planetary fortress setup with detection around them and decide just to burrow in there and get smashed in the face by planetaries for a while. There we go. Some Hydra support means these bases are going to die. This really should just be a pretty straight up Zerg win from this point on. The right side base is done. The third base is done. The fourth base is really the only source of income for the Terran right now. And being on one base while your Zerg opponent is on effectively 4? I mean, it's 4 bases. Partially because all these drones keep dying, so the resources aren't getting used up as much as they normally would. Still, 34 to 33 workers at 22 minutes indicates some very big problems for the economy of these players. You have an Overseer? You have an Overseer. All right. So I think those are the 2 remaining Widow Mines. Yeah, didn't really make any in the last 5-6 minutes or so. Besides, there's only 2 siege tanks. We'll pick that off. I still think in a straight-up engagement, these Hydras do just fine. They've got 3-3. The Thors are at 3-3-2, which is a bit of a problem, but Hydra damage is insanely good. The Hydras decide to kind of YOLO it a little bit here. Never mind. We're pulling back. We're going to try to fight these Thors with mass 3-3 Hydra, and one Thor goes down pretty easily. Another Thor very low into the red. The Lurkers stabbing away. And, oh, they almost get a Thor, but he walks out of range of the spines. Recognizes that Solo doesn't have any mobile detection. He doesn't have any Ravens or anything. So you can be a little bit more aggressive with your Lurker burrowing spots. And by golly, those Thors are dying fast. And that's it. Solo is out. GunsNRoaches is your winner at the end of the day. 23 minutes and 44 seconds. Army value is 2 Thors, a tank, and 3 Hellions for Solo. Not going to be enough. GunsNRoaches has a pretty decent army of 17 Hydras, 9 Lurkers, and 50 Zerglings at 160 supply. They ended up spending his money fairly well, too. Look at that. His bank is gone. Part of that is because his workers were gone. It's easier to spend your money if you're not constantly running it. Oh, good. Really, really, really good mid-rank madness game there. I fully enjoyed it. Thank you, Snipermonkey, for choosing this game. I really appreciate it. And again, if you want your game to be cast by Falcon Paladin, send it to Snipermonkey. Email address in the description. Yeah, I just think Solo had a problem with macro. He got up to 187 supply, but never passed that, and he didn't have a bank, and he didn't have nearly enough mass Thors to counter this. And yeah, kind of cheeky, the 2-port, right? Liberators and Battlecruisers showing up in the main base of GunsNRoaches and killing 135 drones with blue flame Hellions with full upgrades. But yeah, if you don't take care of your macro on the other side of the map, then this too can happen to you. All right. Fantastic. Well, that right there is going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void and a mid-rank madness. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching. You take care of yourself.